Hello guys, so today's tutorial I'm going to talk about custom hook known as useFetcher by the React Router DOM team. It was requested from one of my videos about the form actions, and I thought to check on it so that I can maybe do something on it. So I'm just going to demonstrate how you can use it to call on events and without reloading the page. So with me here is a sample project. It's just this small header. I can be able to create a post, maybe post 7, then I add some dummy lorem ipsum, then from there just able to post. Then you can see at the bottom here we have post 7, and there's this feature of like. So you can't like from the home page, but you can like from the single product, so the single blog item. So if I click on an individual card, it'll be taken to the single article page, and from here you can see we have post 1, and we can choose to like. And if we come back to the home page, you'll see this one is already liked. If you go back again and click on like again, it will dislike because you already liked it. And so this now where we're using the useFetcher form to call on the events without reloading the page. So with me it's just a simple API that caches the data into our local storage, and from there we're able to generate those posts, create new posts, then render them to the UI. So this is my custom API. I'll just take you through the home. I'm just rendering just a markup for rendering the posts, but where now we'll be using the useFetcher hook is in the single post component. So let me just explain a bit how things move around here. We have a loader for loading the data at initial fetch, then we have like action. So this is the action that we are going to be using to like that post. And we have the post component from where we instantiate the useFetcher, the fetcher instance. Then from here we can use loaded data as part of the post. Then we just have a small state here of liked or disliked. Then at this point you're just checking if the fetcher has attribute for form data. If it's there, then we can be able to retrieve a value from this key and check on it. So down here is just before everything else. So at this point, if we go back to the request here, Codassol's requested for a checkbox. Okay, he requested for how to get a checkbox value in the useFetcher. So I've also placed a custom checkbox here, but we'll build on the like and dislike first so that we see how everything else is put into place. So at first what I'll do, I'll just make sure to let me just explain how this code is moving, and let's do it this way. So in the router, we said that I'd already discussed on how you're supposed to handle your routes. So there's something here that we need to understand when we're working with the action. So you can perform an action on a given route without rendering an element on that route. So that's what we are going to do here. So at the top here you can see we have a path to posts, then we have a post ID. This will help us to be able to carry out some activity like or dislike. So from here we don't have dislike, but from this point you can be able to see we have a like action. So when you go to the like component, you'll see we have a loader. This one is for just loading data at initial stages, where we get the parameters and the structure the post ID, which is in the router. So this one here, then from there we are able to load data, and after loading the data we can be able to retrieve the loaded data via the loaded data use loader data hook. So what we have here, once we instantiate a fetcher and we want to use a fetcher form, that means we'll use fetcher.form, then we'll add its method and an action. In the previous video I had said that depending on the current route where we are located, so let's say if I click on this, you'll see at this point we have post, then post ID. So what the route, it's post, then post ID. So at this point this is our current route. Then if we dispatch an action to the like, that means we'll be hitting this endpoint like. Okay, this like will append to the URL, so it will behave like a link, but we'll add this on top of the current URL where we are located. So because there's not any other action that is being dispatched by this single post component, I've just created a like action, and you can see we have the props, which is the action function arguments, and we can destructure the request and parameters. If you want to get the form data values, then you can use the object.from entries, then you await request.form data. Then using our API we are able to retrieve that parameter ID and be able to like that post. Then we just return our form data, and maybe we're not going to use the action data, but we can still retrieve the action data. So how does this operate? We expect that if you click on this, it should be able to like, and if you click on it again it will dislike. So what happens in our API, we have like let's say like, so we have this like action which will just like, if you already like something, it will just make it unliked. So that's what we are doing. You just pass the ID, then it will filter that post, then it will like it. If you don't like it yet, then dislike it, unlike it if you already liked it. So back to our posts. the method here will be post, and our action will point to like, which will point to this path. Okay, so from this path, when we submit this form, where is it? If we submit this form, we expect data to come out of from this place. Okay, so the form will be submitted asynchronously without refreshing the page, but whichever inputs you specify inside here, they must have a name and a value. Okay, so if with this button, what it does, it's a type of submit button, but what we do, we give it a name of like and a value of, if it's liked, that means we check the loaded data. If it's already liked, then we have liked. Then we set, based on the liked status, we set its value to either, if it's liked, then it will be true at that point, otherwise it will be false. That means if you already like, it should indicate whether it's liked or not. So that when we get to submit these to our action, okay, so initially we fetch that state, and when we have that state, we'll check the liked, then if there's a fetcher, so if you want to get values from fetcher, then we use this fetcher.formData.get, so whichever key that you want to access from there. So we get that key, then we compare if it's a value of string of true. Then from there, if it's true, then we can just make it what do we have here? So this one will check if it's true. If it's true, then liked will be true, otherwise it will be false. By that, we'll make us to, I'm just using font awesome icon to check if it's already liked, then I should display a full icon, filled icon with a heart. Otherwise I should display a hollow heart. So that's why you are able to see, like, if I click on this, it will be hollow, then if I like it, then we'll have something hollow. So just to prove that you can retrieve this information, you can just log fetcher .formData.get. So let's say we want to get the because there's this checkbox, you can be able to retrieve the value of the name is checkbox, or let's say it's called terms. If someone is to accept license terms, then we can just get the terms. Okay, once we get the terms, then we can just check on here on the console. If I click on submit, so only once you submit, if I click on submit, I'll get undefined. Okay, so something is weird here. Okay, fetcher.formData. Okay, terms. returns. So we can just take this on top here, then we check if that value exists. Then we can click on it. It's giving us null, of which I don't understand why. Okay, so type checkbox. Value. So it will be none. It will be null if it's unconfigured, unchecked. So if I click on it and click on this, it will submit. Then we'll get this on status. So this on status is if I submit again and check. If I check it, then you'll get an on status. That means it's submitted. So can check if it's equal to on. So by that we are able to retrieve that information. So you can see it's checked. So from here you can be able to see, now we can be able to retrieve the unchecked version. So if it's unchecked, we submit, it's true, and it's true on here. Then if we click on it again, you'll see now it's now false. But by just clicking on the button, we are able to submit this action to this route, this path. After submitting that, then we are able to retrieve that data to this point. Okay, where is it? We are able to retrieve it via the like action. So this is how you can be able to use useFetcher or the Fetcher API and submit synchronous requests. So one advantage you can see, I'm submitting it and doing an API call in the action without refreshing the DOM. So the nice thing about it, I'll click on like, and everything else will be updated in the home page. So when I like it, come back here, you'll see it's already liked. If I click on this one and like it, you'll see it will be liked from the home page. So by this, I hope you'll be able to understand how to work with Fetcher API. There are more features you can dive into using the Fetcher hook, but I believe this will make sense in your development. In case you have any queries, you can drop them in the chat section below, and maybe if you're requesting for something, you may just drop in the comment section. So please like and subscribe so that I continue making such content, and it will be of great benefit. So the code to this tutorial will be in the link in the description, so that you can be able to check on it. This is just an API that you'll be able to create your own posts, then try to see how to interact with it in case of anything. So nice time, and thank you for watching.